Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 149 of my journey. It was at the beginning of the year when I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also originally challenged myself to run 1,250 miles within that time frame. But under the circumstances and how many miles I've gotten done so far within the year, we have officially moved that number up to 1,500. 365 days in a row while obtaining 1,500 miles within the year, guys. This is my second year ever officially running. So the first year in 2020, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days. So this is a 100% increase in the amount of days I will be running and a 50% increase in the amount of miles I'm going for within this time frame. Also within this time frame, I had challenged myself to run my first ever 50K trail race. That is officially 1 week away, guys. The nerves are hitting. Real excited about it. Really anxious. I'm just, a lot of things are going on right now. So even outside of the race, so just right now is a very busy time in my life, and just really got a lot of emotions going right now. So excited about it though. So that is exactly 1 week away. I've been training hard for it. Have started the taper. So haven't put so many miles in this week, and then even next week we are going to be putting in even less miles, building up until Saturday when the race is. I think the biggest challenge going to be coming out of this is going to be the following day after the race, and putting in miles after the race. I already have planned on putting in just 1.5, maybe even just 1 mile that day, just because it'll be, for the next couple days actually after the race. It's going to be kind of like a nice recovery days. So I'm going to have to try to put in little miles and not really try to avoid really suffering any kind of injury from sustaining too much work on my legs. So that is one thing that has definitely been on my mind. Other than that, though, everything's been doing good. We do have the Detroit Free Press Marathon coming up in October, so still going to be training for that as well after this 50K trail race. Going to get the ball rolling on some other things as well, but let's talk about daily mileage real quick. Let's just talk about the mileage overall, and then we will get into talking about today's episode and what it is about. So for today, episode 149, and today and running at day 149 in a row, I put in 3.6 miles for the day, guys. That put me at 20.7 miles for the week, which put me at 137.2 miles for the year, or for the month, and 652.5 miles for the year, guys. So we are at 137.2 miles for the month. Let's talk about the month real quick. Every single month, I have challenged myself to do the 100-mile challenge. And I do the 100-mile challenge in honor of different charities that reflect what the month is kind of supposed to be in honor of. So we raised money and awareness, and we hit the 100-mile challenge in the first 4 months, as well as the 5th month, guys, even because the 5th month is about to end here in 2 days. So we have hit all of the mileages, and we were able to raise money for 5 great charities, guys, here throughout this year so far. But we are still doing this charity, so I want to talk about it. This charity is going to bleed into June, so it'll be open until June. Donations can still be made. The charity for May, the 100-mile challenge, is in honor of To Write Love on Her Arms. And what they do is they focus on they're a nonprofit that is like a hotline where you can call and talk to someone, and you can get help in consultation if you are struggling with any kind of mental health issues, or you maybe you're going through some kind of addiction, or you're struggling with substance abuse or just suicidal thoughts. They are a hotline you can contact. So We are raising money and awareness for them here this month in the month of May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which we will touch on here after we finish talking about this fundraiser. So this fundraiser is going on. You guys can make your donations to donate to this fundraiser. You can find the link to do that on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, as well as my personal page's Instagram story or my personal page's Facebook story. Just click on the link up on the top where it says donate on Facebook. That'll open up another link for you to on Facebook where you be able to actually make your donation. All donations that do get made to this fundraiser go directly to the fundraiser. Facebook does not take a cut, so that's why we continue to do all these fundraisers through Facebook every single month, because they don't take any cuts, and it's good to continue to be consistent, and it's really easy because obviously it's something. It is a platform that pretty much everyone has, so we're going to continue to do it through Facebook and try to raise money and awareness for these fundraisers. This one currently this month, in the month of May, to Write Love on Our Arms, guys. So if you guys would like to donate, like I said, all donations get made on the Facebook fundraiser page, and all donations that do get made go directly to the fundraiser and charity. But I do know times are tough right now, and if you'd still love to help out, another good thing you can do, and even if you do donate, this is still something you could do that would really help out a lot. It is just share this fundraiser so other people can see it and be aware of it, that it's going on. Even if they don't donate, the whole thing of this is to raise awareness for these charities, guys, too, just so people know they're out there. People know that these issues are out there, that these things are going on. So just wanted to continue talking about that. Now let's talk about, so we are at 652.5 miles for the year. Yes, that's great. Okay. Let's talk about mental health awareness just real quick. I like to talk about that. I have talked about it every single day, a little bit on every episode before the episode, just because it's something that I had struggled with and will probably struggle with again within the future. I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and a lot of people maybe don't realize it sometimes. Maybe they're not going through a bad mental health issue, or they're not going through a bad depression or whatever. And I don't want to downplay anyone's depression or someone that actually has a more maybe bipolar or anything like that. I know there are definitely different levels, but I think just mental health issues on a broad spectrum, I think everyone will have some sort of mental health issue throughout their life, and I wanted to really bring that to the table to let people know that when and if you are going through something, to not feel alone. Don't feel like you can't be, you don't relate to anyone, because there are a good chance there are a number of people that are feeling like you exactly at the same time you're feeling like that, but there's also a good chance people have felt like that, maybe that you even know personally before you have, or maybe even after you will feel like that. So try to keep that in mind as some hope that you're not alone, and don't be afraid to also reach out and talk to people. Don't be afraid to try any and everything that may possibly work to try to solve these issues. Talking to a doctor, maybe talking to strangers, because sometimes talking to a stranger is better than talking to someone because it's an outside opinion where you don't have to worry about them judging you as if you think you knew someone would. I don't think I said that right, but I think you got the gist of it. So, there are so many different things you can do. Like I said, go talk to a doctor, try medication, try maybe ask him if a holistic way to go before that. Look up holistic routes to go. One thing that has helped me tremendously over these past 2 years, whenever I've fallen into any kind of mental health issue or depression, or when I'm overstressed and feel almost hopeless, a thing that has really helped me out, guys, is really this exercise. And I like to push that. And I know not everyone is capable, and I know not everyone has that option to do it. But if you do have the option, and you think, and you really can push yourself to get out there, it makes a great difference. And I think you guys would be really grateful, and I'm surprised at what daily exercise, even if you can't do daily, just as much as you can, just exercise in general, what that really does for your body, and actually what it really does for your mind and your mental state. So those are just some different ways you can try to cope with these things. But just again, realize you're not alone, and don't be afraid to, again, reach out and try things that may work. Don't do anything irrational. Try not to do anything irrational. Again, I don't know everyone's circumstances, so I can't talk for everyone. I just know the things that I have done and things that have helped me cope, and am just trying to put out possible good ideas, and that people could try to maybe go down and use. And, like I said, talking to a stranger is a good one, and even calling these hotlines like To Write Love on Her Arms. Those are also great options to talk to someone and get their advice and get their what they think you should possibly do. Maybe. So there's many outlets and there's many things you could do. So just really try to be aware of that, and maybe someone who is going through issues. Don't be afraid to reach out to them as well, guys. So now that we kind of just touched a little bit on mental health awareness, let's get into today's episode. Today is episode 149. We are exactly 1 week away, guys, from this 50K trail race. And because of that, today's episode is themed Prepare. Well, other than the obvious, talking about me truly preparing for this race, we're also going to kind of talk about preparing, overall on everything. It's something that we should always be trying to do. You don't want to spend too much time preparing. You don't want to over prepare and by that, like I said, maybe burn yourself out by over preparing. But yet again, you don't want to be under prepared when you get into a certain situation. So you want to really set yourself up nice for whatever it is you're doing, the future, a race, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you are going to be prepared. So now on this race level of what I am personally going to be going through, I am trying to prepare myself on a whole bunch of different levels. I'm going through a whole outside thing that has nothing to do with the race that I'm trying to deal with. But while trying to deal with that, I'm trying to stay as least stressed as possible and trying to really mentally prepare for this race. I'm trying to de-stress myself. I'm trying to really put it off in the back of my mind, and just for the time being, really try to mentally prepare for this big race. And then the days after following this big race, those days are going to be just important as the big race. But I think after I get really past that big curve, I'm going to be really able to start attacking and really focusing on other bigger issues that are also attacking me from different angles. So I want to really be mentally prepared. Like I said, I want to be in the zone. I want to be focused on the race. I want to I want to just mentally be prepared to be physically prepared. I have to be mentally prepared because I don't want to overdo training up to the race. I don't want to, like I said, if I'm not mentally prepared, maybe I'm going to not pack something and forget something 2 hours away that I'm not going to be able to use. So there's all these things that I got to make sure I get ready. I got to make my checklist. I got to get everything done. I got to be prepared to get ready for this race. I got to get my body prepared. I got to really slow down the miles. I have this past week, like I said, we're only at 20 20 miles. I think we're going to finish at 23.5 or 6 if I do 3.5 again tomorrow. So we really cut the miles out this week, but then next week, building up to the race, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are all going to be 1.5 mile days. They're going to be really slow, almost too slow. I got to make sure I really stay on that. I got to be mentally prepared. I want to get these episodes at least lined up and ready to roll, because I'm not going to have much time to get them going while preparing for this. I don't want to be stressed out trying to get this going, so I got to really focus on having this betterly, organized better, as well as trying to really get guests rolled in. I need to really start getting some other things popped off and prepared for this, for the defining discipline pages and everything like that. So I got some things going on, like I said, on the outside, but I'm really trying to just prepare and stay focused for what is at hand and at task in front of me right now. 1 week away, guys. Super stoked. We can talk about times, I guess, real quick. One thing I was really hoping for last year, I ran my first ever marathon. I ran that unofficially timed with my buddy Joe. We ran it in Hines Park, and I think he finished around 5 hours, but he waited up for me a lot. I went too hard, too fast to keep up at his pace. I wasn't at his pace at the time, and I think I just really burned myself out a little bit too early. But towards the end, he kept up with me a lot, so I think he could have really shaved off a lot of time on his marathon. But I finished in 5 hours and 22 minutes, and I kind of really fell off my training right towards the end, for the build up for the actual marathon. So I kind of fell apart. Like I said, I wasn't really happy with my time, and I really held him back. I felt bad. So I had originally set the goal to try to, that's still a good, feasible goal. But I think on Strava, I set it a little bit longer. But I had set this 50K trail race goal to try to right around 5 hours and 22 minutes, just like I did the my first unofficially timed marathon. So that is what we're shooting for. But I also put, like I said, on my Strava, I had set up a little bit later. I think I had it under just 6 hours dead even. So that is also, I'd like to get the fastest time. I'd like to try to really get obviously faster than that, but the goal 5 hours and 22 minutes. I like to try to keep it anywhere in between there and 6 hours. Like I said, even if I go over 6 hours, whatever, I finish. This is my first ever 50K trail race. I'm just trying to get out there and get it done, guys. So these are just things I'm going for. So I thought I might as well just throw it out there. So I got all this on my mind. I'm trying to prepare. I'm getting all of my list together. I got my shoes ready. Got know what I'm wearing. I got my shorts. Still trying to decide necessarily what shirt I'll be wearing. Gonna have to also, it's gonna be weather determined. It might rain. Might have to have a little bit of rain gear carry a little rain gear with me. I also got a nice trail vest that I'll be carrying some water in. I got the fuel I will be using for the race. And I actually, speaking of that, that is something I have a couple packs left, but I actually do have to order a few more. I'll be using Tailwind Nutrition. It's something that has worked pretty well for me so far within the build-up training. I haven't done nothing too crazy like 30 miles or anything like that, but the 2.5 hour runs I've done so far this year, it's got me through those pretty well with no gut bombs or anything like that. So, and felt overall pretty good throughout it. So we're going to be fueling with Tailwind. like I said, got Nike Trail Vest, got some, gonna be running in the Nike Pegasus, uh, three Pegasus Trail 3s, I think. I think they just came out with the 4s. Whichever ones they are coming out with now, the model before that. So it's either 3s or the 2s. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, 2 or 3s, who knows. So I got those. They're a little bit heavier too, so that's gonna be fun. I looked at it. It's one of the heavier trail shoes. It's more of like a trainer, not supposed to be not really a trail race day shoe. Nike actually really doesn't have. I think they have, maybe it's their Terra Kiger, maybe, or their Wild Horse. I think one of those two are supposed to be the lighter shoe and more of like the race day. I think it might be the Terra Kiger. But I of course didn't get those. I got the Pegasus Trails. They're the heavier ones, I think, out of all three. It is what it is. I've ran in them though. I really do like them out on the trail. I'm not worried about it. But again, I've never put in that many miles on the trail, so those will probably start feeling a little heavy towards the end there. But hey, again, still stoked. So stoked, guys. I'm so excited to really be breaking into this and my first trail race. And the trails alone are just so amazing and so fun, and they bring a lot more to your running experience. You know, running in the city's fun. Running outside every day has been nice, even on the rainy days. You know, just getting out there, being able to get some fresh air, no matter if it's rainy, snowy, whatever the case. It's been nice, but those days, really, even the snowy days, when just getting out on the trail and you don't hear like sitting, you very, very, if you do hear it, it's so far off in the distance, but all you hear are birds chirping and nature going on around you, and the river running, and it just feels so good. It really refreshes you being out there. So I'm just excited to even just get out on a new trail and being able to put in some miles, being able to really break into my first trail race and my first ultra race on the ultra sign up race, or sign the ultra website. So I'll officially be in there, and be ranked, probably not too high for my first race, but hey, still really excited. Yeah, so just really trying to stay prepared for this. I'm going to really try to, throughout this week, guys. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I fell off the yoga and fell off the stretching this week. I think I'm really going to try to focus on stretching since I'm going to be taking the miles down. I need to really focus on loosening up these muscles and just trying to really prepare for this race. So that is another thing I'll be trying to do, is really trying to stretch, get ready, mentally prepare, try to just de-escalate all the stress within my life just for this week building up. Try to just focus on breathing, focus on getting a good diet, and I'm going to probably carb up a couple days before, start carbing up a lot. Still feeding myself with a little bit of protein as well. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to start getting my body ready to just start burning some calories. Yeah, and we're going to go hard, guys, and we're going to get this race done. So this next week, now we're basically on the waiting game and the preparing game of just going over. I got my pack upstairs. I'm just going to go over it 3 times throughout this next week and just double check and make sure I got everything I need in there, and then pack up my other packs. I'm going to have to make sure I bring and prepare and bring out a lot of my recovery stuff, my protein powder, the creatine I use, all the other supplements I add into my protein shakes. I have to bring my frozen fruit. So there's just a whole list of things outside of just mentally and physically preparing for this race that I have to do to get ready for this race. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer for this episode. This is episode 149. For your daily discipline, it is to prepare. think about, like I said at the beginning, it doesn't necessarily have to be just any situation, or it doesn't have to be just an event coming up in your life. You could be preparing for anything. It's always good to try to just be prepared. Um, you know, one old saying, and it used to actually be a lyric in one of my old bands, so I'm gonna quote it as I wrote it. Is hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So that's always a good thing to do. And ironically, yesterday was hope. So a lot of people hope for things, and again, they don't really prepare, or they don't really act on hoping on those things. So prepare, guys. Prepare, and maybe something doesn't go that way, but at least you were prepared and ready. And also just prepare again for maybe you do have something coming up. So you need to get prepared for that. So for your daily discipline, it is to really think about the things that you need to prepare for. Think about the things that you need to start preparing for today. Think about the things that you are unprepared for, guys. What is it that you have coming up, or is going to inevitably come up, that you are just not prepared for, that you're putting off because you don't want it to come up, but it's going to come up, and you're going to have to face music one day. So why not prepare yourself today? So that is your daily discipline, is to really think about those things and really start preparing yourself, and setting yourself up to be ready for it. Okay? So that is your daily discipline. Thank you so much for listening. Episode 149 of the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. If you guys can, please give us a like, a subscribe, and a share, and a follow on our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been listening along on. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 150. Yeah. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys then. Peace.